Today, I'm going to explain to you why 85% of your savings for long term should be in Bitcoin. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm in the Pi 5x5 here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in this world. I love the UAE. I should have been here sooner. Damn. I'm loving it here because the feeling of no taxes is something you cannot get anywhere else on the planet. And it just feels like freedom. so yeah, if you try it out, right? Especially if you're into crypto, come down here, right? There's lots of different OTCs, right? That will give you cash and you can live off of just cash here. And, you can easily get a bank account. And yeah, there's no one to report to, no government to report to. And that's kind of a weird feeling, right? What? You don't need to know my balance sheet, my books, what I'm spending my stuff on? What? Anyways, I digress. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin today and why you should have like a large percentage of your wealth in Bitcoin. And also we're going to do some trading at the end of the show. Let's see what we can trade. And we're going to be doing that on bybit.davincij15.com. Links in the description below. Make sure you head over to rns.davincij15.com for your ID because, some governments don't like you have crypto or Bitcoin. I'm going to be also at this event in December 9th to the 10th. I'm going to be speaking there. So make sure you get your tickets and you get 10% off, right? When you use my code, DaVinci. Links are in the description below. Before I go on to the news, I want to talk about this cool technology of AI, right? AI is everywhere and you want AI that helps you with your Web3 and ask it questions that it understands that you're talking about crypto, basically. So this TARS AI is all about crypto and you can ask it questions to help you make informed decisions about crypto. So this particular AI protocol is on Solana, right? To help the millions of users on Solana. They already have helping 1 million plus Solana users, right? And TARS AI is a singularity point between Solana and AI, working towards driving mass adoption natively on-chain through progressive AI architecture to the Solana ecosystem, right? They have a token, but they have a consumer AI, real-time Web3 data providing curated insight on everything crypto for the retail users such as yourself, right? So this is a perfect asset for you. If you just scroll down here and click Adopt Now, you can start actually using their AI absolutely free. So you could click on there and it'll bring you there. You can check out their token, right? It's listed on many exchanges. And yeah, it looks like it's gone sideways for a while, but AI is the narrative and you want to get in before everybody else realizes how great it is. So there you go. Okay, with that said, let's move on to the news. This is the news that we're going to be talking about today. Let's go over some of the stuff here. Bitcoin makes a new all-time high of 94K. Boom. I think about the death on the doors, like slashing open the doors. You see 90,000, 91, 92, 94 is just dead. Now we're looking for we're knocking on 95. Hello, 95. Death's at the door. Oh boy. 2 years ago, a senior BlackRock analyst figured out optimal allocation to Bitcoin was 85%. Now, you laugh. Most people think, what? Bitcoin doesn't earn any cash flow? How are you going to live without cash flow? Either you have a business or a job, that is your cash flow. Right? So when you try to obtain cash flow, you put your wealth at risk. Let me say that again. right? When you try to obtain cash flow, you put your wealth at risk, right? So you want to own an asset with that wealth that you earned with cash flow that you've worked very hard to obtain, because you have everybody, right? If you're living on this planet, you most likely come up with a process of earning cash flow, whether it's through a job or through a corporation that you own. So that cash that you've flowed in is not worth the paper it's printed on. So you want to save it so that you can increase its value. So what you tend to do is invest in other companies so that when they go up in value as a stock or they give you a dividend, right, that's your cash flow, right? Now, you're risking that the company is going to do well. Right? And you could be very intelligent and know which company will do well, such as Warren Buffett, and which will do badly. That's fine. And that's also a way of making your own cash flow. And you're getting cash flow from that asset. So if you're very good at that, that's fine. You're making cash flow. And so that cash should flow into Bitcoin. Right there. Bitcoin. Right here. Why? Because you want an asset with that cash that will increase in value, because wealth today, produced today, is worth the most today than it is in the future, right? Well, let me explain that to you. Wealth you produce today is worth more today than it is in the future. And therefore, right, if you produce wealth in the future, it's going to be worth less, right? That's just the way it's going to be, right? Why? Because we innovate, because of inflation and all that kind of stuff. But innovation is the most key thing that destroys your ability to generate enough wealth. And because we produce AI, robots, and all that kind of stuff, and they eliminate jobs, but they make things a lot easier and cheaper, right? And as they make things cheaper, right, labor cost value goes down. Okay? So, you want to preserve what you've worked for today into the future and beyond. And Bitcoin does that extremely well. So there it is. Hold 85% of your savings, that means cash that you got from wherever your cash flow is coming from, into Bitcoin. Don't do it, and you will suffer the consequences, the financial consequences, right? There are people that are doing that right now. They're even borrowing against money, such as Michael Saylor, to do exactly that, save in Bitcoin. When you realize that it's oh my God, I got to do that right now. I didn't. I was told that by Da Vinci and a whole bunch of other people. I didn't know. And you're going to be in the rush, and you're going to cause that super bubble. Don't wait until that super bubble happens. All right. With that said, right, we have Bitcoin beating out all the financial services right now combined. Boom. Boom. And it's getting bigger. Bitcoin, we already talked about Bitcoin surpassing silver market cap, establishes itself as mainstream financial asset. Now, the funny thing is, I used to be in silver, right, a lot. And I remember telling the people back in the day that Bitcoin will pass gold, and they were laughing at me. I didn't even talk about passing silver's market cap. That was not even a consideration. And here we are. Bam. And you silver bugs, right? Probably crying. You're probably crying, because I know you are. Because a lot of silver bugs, right, just would refuse to switch to Bitcoin. And I knew a few of them that even like started blocking me and stuff like that when I tried to talk to them. They would refuse to understand what Bitcoin is compared to silver. And it is what it is, right? Now we have established that Bitcoin is the asset that does the best for the majority of people. Okay, Let's move on here. Bitcoin is mirroring the behavior of the last two bull cycles. Yes, I remember a lot of people telling me, what if this time's different? It doesn't happen. What if this time is different? What? Past performance doesn't equal, future performance. Okay. Let me explain something to you, right? The reason why it has this performance is because when you have inflation, meaning you create more money, it takes 12 to 18 months to affect price, right? So you can prove that by looking back at the 2000, during the pandemic, where they printed a bunch of money, 25% per year, right? And then 12 to 18 months, what did happen? We saw 9% plus inflation. Do you remember that? You do. I'm glad you do. Because now, if you use that same logic, but in reverse, called deflation, meaning that you cut the supply coming in of money, what happens in 12 to 18 months? That's right. It affects the price of the asset, the currency, move up. Whilst they print with dollars and the value goes down, meaning the prices of things go up. And with Bitcoin, right, it reduces the amount of supply. And so that means Bitcoin goes up and the prices of assets go down. Not very complicated. All right. So with that said, that's why you need 85% of this asset in your portfolio. And you need to hold on to it. Hold on to it for a long term, meaning that 8+ years. And you will be super rich, mega rich than anyone else that's invested in anything else, period. Okay, let's move on to some TA for today. Right, and before we do, make sure you head over to bybit.davincij15.com, links in the description below. Looking at Bitcoin, let's just bring this open. And it looks like Bitcoin was about to break out and then it came back down, right? It looks like it's targeting approximately the $110,000 mark. If we do an AB equals CD here, or, break out from this flag here. That is the target for Bitcoin. Let's see if it reaches it. I think 100, somewhere in the 102 should be the target, but it might go even higher and then reverse back down a little bit. So it's also a possibility that we come back down to this. So we break down and go down. That's right, because we're at the end here of this particular pattern here. And so it could break at any moment. Any day now, it could break and we can go up or down. And either direction is valid. So right now, looking at the heat map, it looks like the upward direction is the most likely direction with very little, liquidation. Can't liquidate much on the downside. There is some further down, of course. If we were to let's go to hourly, see if there's anything showing up on that heat map below. Nope, there isn't something in the area where we see the gap. So the only thing we have is like the 85K. That could be a possibility where we just quickly wick down. So be careful of that. Wicks downs are normal in Bitcoin. So if you want, you could always put a buy order at the 83, 84, all the way down from 84.5 down to 84,000 even, right? So because there's a good chance of a wick down. So make sure if you do open up a trade there, make sure you use like 10% or something like that as your 10x leverage or something like that, because it could be a further wick down all the way down to 78,000. But I don't think it will go further than that. I think it is clear that the Bitcoin is going a lot higher. All right. Looking at, let's see here, Solana heat map. Let's see here. Could have swore we had some better heat map, but Let me just zoom in a bit with the 5 minute. And there it is. So we have a little bit more downside for Solana before we actually head higher. Then we're probably going to take out the upper heat maps. So it looks like Solana is ready to go a blast off above the $252 area. So be ready. You can probably put some buy orders just below here at $228. Okay. Ethereum. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell are you doing? Ethereum looks like it wants to dip down below the $3,000 mark, and really annoying us all here. Let's see here. Let's clear up on this and see if that's a possibility on a technical analysis. Yeah, you see that? Look at that. There's support here, so we could end up hitting the support line here at the $2,800 like mark, or just below it, just above it right here at the Bollinger Band. Or the 200 period moving average on the daily. So we could be testing the 200 period moving average on the daily and then taking off from there. Looking at Solana. Solana looks like it wants to retest the lows here. So it's a chance that we go down to the $223 area and then start rising from there. So that's what the charts are looking like. So if you're welcome to trade that, you can trade that at bybit.davincij15.com. Okay, I hope you learned something today. Right? I hope you understood the importance of getting some Bitcoin. Cheers.